Welcome back to turn 20 of Blood on the Snow. Now this has come quite soon after we sent turn 19 off, and remember back to yesterday, and turn 19, actually trying to put quite a brave face on it, but I lost 4 BTRs. We lost this one here, got marked 19, this one got hit by a tow, this one lost its ridiculous fight with the Mark 19 Humvee down here because it was firing air bursting HE, and this one got hit by another tow. This is the most tows I've seen fired in a combat mission multiplayer game, actually. And, you know, we've got this team here is down to half strength. This team is lost 2 guys. These guys lost their MG gunner and they're surrendering because they're pansies. A couple of casualties there as well. And mortars falling in this kind of area up here. Yeah, not an amazing turn. I think I've punched back pretty well. And working on the assumption that Timo has a smaller force than me, he might be feeling the casualties a bit more. But when you end up playing, getting a bit of psychology going with things like turn rate. So this turn has come in a couple of hours after the last turn. Usually it usually takes a day or 2. So this is like a fairly slow-paced one. That's not a big deal. But sometimes when you get a really fast turn, it's because the person you're playing against really wants to see what happens next. So that could be bad news. We'll see how it pans out. So what are we expecting to see? Up here on the right and down here, I'm pushing some RPG teams forward. I know that there is a Humvee, a Mark 19 Humvee sat up here somewhere. I can't remember the exact spot, probably that one. And I know that's got quite a few bodies in it, and I want to see if I can hit that. And obviously, if we can hit a striker or something up there as well, that's also good. Up here, we know there's some mortars falling around here, so we need to kind of like push people out of those areas. And kind of, I want to get some eyes back on this area because I think I've taken a striker out. I think I took one out last turn. Plus, we want to see some BDA down here. I want to see some dead bodies because I need to, you know, it would be nice to see that we're actually having an effect. Also, this turn, we could well see some of the mortar barrage smacking that area, so it's going to churn the rubble up a bit. These guys, not sure what we're going to get with that. There is going to be a fair bit of 30mm air bursting HE coming this way. Hopefully that's going to detonate next to this building. I know there's at least, well, in fact, it probably is just these 2 guys in here. I want to see if we can kill them, because that would free these guys up. They might, you know, unsurrender themselves. And I'm moving some more, another BTR down here, I think. Somewhere where, you know, it's going to be able to, or a couple of BTRs actually, where they're going to be able to cover off this angle. Because this flank, this position here, is probably going to just crumble. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we will actually see something down here. It's these, it's the strikers and whatever infantry Timo has down here. That's what's annoying me. Is the fact that I can't see them to return fire. But we'll see how it goes. This guy's probably just going to get shot because there's just one of him left. He just fired an RPG, so he's, you know, it's like saying, "Hey, here I am. Look at the backblast." Got some American cyborg spotting pixel trouble down there. Hopefully, you know, because I want to shoot the crap out of this area. Adjusted the area fire here a little bit as well, so you can see if we can't get some more air bursting HE just smothering this area, because I know there's an American squad round about there. So yeah, that's what we've got going on here. I am just going to press go and see what happens. So again, it's Drama Corner is the real place we're looking at here. So well, casualties there from mortar fire. That's not tremendously surprising. And some, yeah, looks like some. Oh yep, there goes another BTR. Oh, we spotted a striker. There's that. Oh, that BTR has got some. Yeah, that's excellent. We have to see what's going on there. Just lost another BTR and another BTR. That's awesome. So it's getting kind of crunchy and messy, which, you know, not ideal. And did I actually? I may have knocked down the building there, actually. That barn. Another dead BTR. So yeah, that was another violent exchange of opinions. This corner is very on fire at the moment. Right, let's check up this flank first. So this BTR and this BTR are moving up, and there's a few infantry teams going. That sound is these BTRs firing things off. I don't think we've really seen anything out there. Off goes that Humvee. I'm going to have a look at that damn Humvee in a minute. Because I'm pretty sure it kills a BTR on the move. So we're seeing nothing, seeing nothing, seeing nothing, still seeing nothing. Still seeing nothing. And then suddenly, boom! That's it, it's gone. Oh, it's gotten hit. The crew are panicking. It's trying to pop smoke. I think that's just the Mark 19, or just the 40mm HE grenade hitting it, from the looks of it. Yeah, you can hear the bloop. So that's actually quite close. So he might be, you know, further in here than I think he is. But apart from that, nothing. Nothing at all up here. And I'm kind of a little annoyed that that Humvee... so this BTR has gone up here just as that Humvee is just driving off down there, and it hasn't spotted it, which is really annoying. But that's because the optics, the ergonomics, all this stuff going inside this tiny little crappy one-man turret is crap. And that you pay with reaction time. And the ability to quickly engage targets. So yeah, these units here are not quite in position, but they will be in the next turn. Hopefully we'll see something else. There's definitely some American infantry around here. And this BTR is actually okay. There's nothing wrong with it. The crew haven't been harmed. All the subsystems are still going. It's just been hit and penetrated. Where was the hit? Hit forward hull. Just up on here. So basically what's happened is a jet of molten copper has just punched through the armour just above the driver's head. The driver sits on this side. He's got his little cupola, like embedded cupola type thing. And just to the left of the driver, sorry, just to the top left of the driver and just to the left of the gunner. And now they're sitting there in the BTR going, what the hell? Let's find somewhere else to be. Which, you know, that's fair enough. Right, let's have a look at the centre. So we're getting some mortar rounds landing down here. To the surprise of nobody. So this BTR gets knocked out. It comes up here. So, gets round that corner, fine. Then it suddenly slows down. I don't know if that's just because it's clipping the edge of this square here. But it just slows down. And I think that's just as the Mark 19 Humvee is coming down here. And the Mark 19 Humvee swivels on. Yeah, there he is. And fires a burst. So he's... It's like the world's most comically inaccurate weapon being fired on the move. And it destroys the BTR in a couple of hits. Like, you can't make it up. So we've got 3 grenades incoming. One hits the upper right hill, and that's enough to destroy it. That one hit. But at this point, the driver is just wounded, and the gunner is okay. Then we get another one right on the upper right hull over on this side, which is probably in a bad place for both of the crewmen. And then a third one in the middle, and that's it, they're dead. What the... Oh, for God's sake. So, you remember when I had this... I was like, JTMO's never going to move down here. I don't need to worry about this. And I had 2 BTRs that were looking that way. Yeah. And he's doing this insane kind of cavalry charge down this way. And that's actually really interesting, because that really implies to me that he is worried about this objective. I mean, he's rushing. That's such an over-the-top thing to do, and he's getting away with it because it's so crazy I'd never expect. But it's just the Humvee. We should be able to sort it out. Definitely that building is getting hit. What's that getting hit by? Is that getting Mark 19? Oh, that looks more like... I'm not sure what that is. Maybe 50 cal fire. So then it comes. Just casually killing everything. Yes, the guy who took out the striker last turn, he just got killed. These guys, they spotted it, but it wasn't quite quick enough to beat with the RPG. That guy, single survivor, he's just panicking. Where did the Humvee rock up? About there. Takes a shot from these guys. Or is it these guys? Yeah, it's those guys. Oh, wait. This is always funny. A planning pixel truppen. What does a planning pixel truppen look like? Oh, I can't see the base. It's the one with the GP. No? Ah, it's not doing it. I didn't spend a lot of time planning. They reach up and they scratch their chin like, I'm thinking. But what else do we get here? More mortars. That building, the top floor of that building at least, is still being 50 cal'd. You just about hear it in the background. And the mortar round landed on top. And what we're getting at the end there? There's more 50 cal fire? Is that actually directed 50 cal fire at these guys? I think that is. Okay, yeah. That's fascinating. So there's a striker up here firing down that way. Maybe I need to go for this hill. Because if he's aiming this way, you know, he's stripped the Humvee off to go have a look. And what I think he has 4 weapons Humvees and 2 tow Humvees. And I know that there's a Mark 19 and a 50 cal down there. There's a tow Humvee around here somewhere, maybe with that lot. Another tow Humvee here. This one, was this a Mark 19 or a 50 cal? That's a 50 cal Humvee. And then we have another Mark 19. So I think he's got, he's split like, 2 Humvees to each of his flank platoons. I think. So maybe, if he's focusing his attention down here, because he doesn't want me to get to that objective, maybe I can punch him in the face up here. We'll see over the next couple of turns how that develops as an opportunity, because I'm going to get these teams coming up into the edge of the village online, and they're going to bring more ammunition for the RPGs and more fun things to see. That should be a single... Oh no, that's... Ah, okay. So these guys, that's an infantry squad. So an actual javelin team has 2 guys in it. This doesn't have 2 guys in it because there's 2 guys over here, but the icon's over here. So there's more than 2. What have we got? We got M4 with an ACOG and an M4 with an ACOG. So they're just riflemen. And hopefully this BTR, if we can rock it up here, hopefully that BTR is going to be able to take some pot shots at them. That would be handy. Don't know why you guys can't see them. Are you guys... Oh, okay, so some of you... Let's check this side, because I'm pretty sure this building gets knocked down. This is a very complicated turn, just like the last turn. So I think those guys have just run outside. They're running out... Well, that's the door. And that's the other door. They can't get out the windows because it's a game. So... He's just moving them this way to look into the forest, perhaps? Interesting. Either way, the barn falls on top of them. Which is probably not tremendously pleasant. And yeah, watching that, I think some of these guys decide to say, hey, we're not dead. That building that we were just looking at, I'm sure I can hit up that orchard with some APHE. Yeah, these guys are exchanging fire here. Okay. And before I forget, because I will, let's have a look at these guys. Ah, that is a 120mm mortar. Interesting, and that's that armored knight. Okay. So kind of mixed fortunes over here. I now know that I have this Humvee that's going to have a couple of teams in it that can disembark. I know they're hanging around down there. Let's see if I check if I've missed anything on there. No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. What I was really hoping to see was to get eyes. I really want to get eyes on this kind of area here because, well, for obvious reasons, I want to see how much stuff is dead there. Right, now let's go to Drama Corner and see what the hell happened, because I think it got messy again. Okay, let's go. So, first things first, we lose the spot on these guys. Yeah, he starts cowering and goes. This guy is panicking. Not surprising, the rest of his squad is dead, or the rest of his fire team. That's a Humvee rocking up. Is that the Mark 19 one? No, that's the 50 cal Humvee. So now we definitely have 2, possibly 3 Humvees down there. The 50 cal, the Mark 19 we saw before, and possibly the tow Humvee. And who can see that? It's not you guys. I think it's you. Yeah. And that guy gets wasted. Is that friendly fire? No. Okay, so we've got definitely American infantry in here, but also this way as well, because that was small arms fire. And just hammering this whole area. Those guys are getting shot up. Oh, wait a second. Okay. I've missed that as well. Come on, let's... Like I say, this one is complicated. Okay, so this has just taken a partial penetration to the front. And it's gone all nervous. The driver got killed. But compensation. There's a striker down here. And this BTR manages to take it out. What kind of striker is that? 50 cal, okay. And I say it manages to take it out. Does it manage to take it out? Let's see. I would guess so, because I don't think it's going to react very well to that kind of firepower hitting it. But we don't regain the spot. This BTR reverses away. And then let's flip around this way and see what we get. So this Humvee pops up. These guys can see it, but they're pinned. And this BTR is just getting rinsed in the front. I think by 50 cal fire. But not from that Humvee, because that Humvee is facing a different direction. Let's have a look at this and see where... I just want to see where these hits are coming in from. So it's like in the front. It's kind of like on this side though. Well, obviously it must be because they hit the driver. So I'm not sure where that's actually coming from. Or maybe there's another Humvee down there. That would be a lot of Humvees. Anyway, that gets taken out. What just flew past that? Was that another effing... yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? Damn Mark 19 grenades going everywhere. So, these guys who are busy cowering, one of them has gotten hit and killed by that Humvee. There we go, and he gets injured, but the RPG gunner is on the ball. Not an easy target, but it's very close. Manages to completely miss. And I mean completely miss. I mean, that wasn't even... It's hard to tell what he's actually aiming at. I mean... Oh, shut up. Dying pixel jumping. It's like he's, in theory, aiming at that, but he misses so widely that I don't know what's going on there. I remember there was something American burning down here at the end of the turn. So maybe it hit something. I don't know. These guys, he then gets killed. This team is crawling into the line of fire. And yeah, one of them's gone wounded. Yeah, so he missed, and he still hit something down there that we never spotted. And even the platoon HQ is like, oh, I don't think so. So yeah, that was an interestingly fortuitous miss. So that entire platoon has basically been wiped out. There is now a 4-man team which is already pinned down. 2 survivors in there in a state of panic. The HQ team is almost pinned, very suppressed, and is running away. And there's 1 BTR that is also retreating. So that's amazing. But on the plus side, there are some reinforcements coming. This squad is still in a state of panic. Like I said, it's not ideal. But, you know, we've hit a striker, a couple of other things, and we've almost certainly caused some casualties amongst this infantry down there. So, yeah, I think, you know, this is punishing for everybody, not just for the Russians here. It's not just bad for me, it's also bad for him. And that's important, because that makes me feel better. Let's just do a quick once-over. All that radio chatter at the end is just the Russians doing their call for fire. And we can just about see at the end the last mortar goes up in the last couple of seconds. Yeah, or the first mortars rather. Yeah. So they're going to hammer that area. Might see if we can readjust that onto. That might be too far away from the TRP, but around here, because we know there's that Humvee there. So yeah. If I had to guess, and I kind of do, this is J. Timo's main effort down here. This is where he's actively pushing. It looks like that's where he's got the most force. He's taking casualties, and he's still pushing on. In here, I think this platoon is crumbling. And up here, I think he doesn't think there's a threat, as much of a threat down here. So he's reorientating elements of this platoon to help out his center platoon and defend his objective. Which is exploitable, because I have this big force here that's not really doing very much. And I think it's going to be worth, you know, over the next couple of turns, like I say, because I'm getting elements coming in already. I think it's going to be worth exploiting this, because if I can get up on here, you know, if I can get stuff here, I'm going to be able to see whatever he has hanging around down here, you know, so like these mortar teams right in the back, things like that. In fact, do we think that BTR can draw line of sight down there? I think that might be a little optimistic. I think that could be very optimistic, actually, looking at that. Actually, where is it? It's you here. Oh. Because I think some 30mm HE hanging around in this kind of area, I think that might give him the willies a little bit. I don't know what happened there, but something's on fire, and that's good. because it's not mine. Right, let's sort some orders out. So these guys need to just get the hell into these woods and defend it to the death, just to slow him down. Remember my initial prediction? Oh, these guys they can hold this wood for a couple of turns. No, not happening. That is complete. Just no, just no, absolutely not. Let's get guys in there. But if I can wear him down, if I can attrite him, you know, that's what we want here. Let's get you down here. So I didn't leave really at like a backstop, way back in my deployment zone, because I wasn't really thinking that I might need it. But I'm gonna take these guys and dump them all the way down here. Get him onto that reverse slope. And really, I could really do with getting an ATGM team out here. They will hopefully, yeah, be able to see over there. That's excellent. And I suppose you should get out as well, because why not? Okay, these I can't actually adjust the fire quite yet, but you know, anything that's around there, that's probably going to get smashed up. Any survivors that I can't quite spot. The RPG teams, they are all moving in. That's good. You. Right. Oh, I need to do this the right way again. You. Yes, you. No. Gutted. Apparently it can't see because of the slope. How far forward would I have to go? You know, like, is there anywhere else I could slot you in? Or slot any BTR in where you can see down there? Oh. Here, maybe? And that might be too exposed. You guys are back up again, though. How much ammo? Yeah, you got some rounds left. Oh, has he popped smoke? Interesting. I'm not a fan of popping smoke. I don't like it very much. But, you know, each to their own. These guys are probably going to get killed doing that, but that's okay. You guys just need to shoot them with considerable prejudice. Just pause there for 15 seconds and just shoot that a lot. Yeah, you guys are just going to get shot whatever you do, so, you know, deal with it. I just need to... So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to use... I can tell them to move, and they might run in there, or I can use this command, which is evade. So evade is, it generates a fast move command back towards your friendly area, friendly map edge. and it has a bit of a modifier. Also, I've heard it's got a bit of a modifier to overcome some suppression elements, if that makes sense. So actually, can we see from there? Because that's kind of... I don't think there's anything immediately up there. I will give that a turn and then do it. What was I saying? Yeah, overcome some suppression elements. So, you know, the idea is that, oh, we're pinned down, you press the evade button, they get up and they run, no matter what. Well, I kind of want them to run over there right now, because, well, they're getting artied. But obviously I want them to get somewhere safe, which in this case is that building. That's a terrible building. I'm trying to spread some of the RPG teams out this way so they can put some fire out that down there. You, Mr. FO, might be worth getting you somewhere else, and let's get you, Mr. AT-13, up there instead. Yes, might have been better to have you up there a while ago, but whatever. Those guys are okay. It's covering down there alright. Let's get you in there, why not? Wait, no. That's wrong. Nah, you are in the objective, you can stay where you are. So if that's the case, and up here is where I want to push, then actually... let's get you guys out of there. And let's start thinking about exploiting up this way. Because, you know, I want to get my hits in where I can here, essentially. And where I am right now, it's not a good place to be getting my hits in. Certainly not down here. That's turning into a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, my issue here is spotting. It's actually seeing the enemy first is so important in Black Sea, and the Americans are just so much better at it than everybody else. Like down here, I know there's like 2 infantry squads down there, and I can't... it's very difficult for me to really do very much about it because I just can't see the buggers. I have no idea where they are. You can hide in that ditch. You know, maybe you're gonna get... maybe you'll manage to get, you know, a reverse slope RPG-26 into something. Oh, my last ditch elements in there, the company HQs. Yeah, I mean, I'm holding on to mine pretty well. I just need to dislocate his defense over here somewhat, you know, so I can get a bit more punishment out. actually, screw that. You stay where you are. Don't worry, they'll be confused because you're surrendering and they're not allowed to shoot you because of the Geneva Convention. So just unsurrender yourselves and shoot them first. That's not a war crime at all. Spoiler alert, that is actually a war crime. You're not allowed to pretend to surrender. But they're gonna die, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Okay, let's press go. So, yeah. Ramping up a little bit. Like I say, my main hope here is that I'm inflicting actually quite significant losses on JTMO as well. But we'll see